Hiyo de Gallo. Here is a quick shot, really, of how to look at life rather than necessarily the comics we're looking at. Now, I have one of my favorite Toth comics, a Hot Wheels comic, and a panel that I'm doing for one of my stories. Now, this is a paste-up deal. Every story that I write, I try to do everything in a little bit different style, and the panel that this goes to is everything I'm doing is pretty much paste-ups. And it's a collage-y kind of style with a lot of paste-ups and everything. And how I run that is you draw and draw and draw and draw and make panel after panel after panel, and you kind of get a pile of stuff up. Now, it's kind of a fun, interesting way to do that, because you take the same image and you draw it 2 or 3 times, and you run it through and try to decide how it lays out on the page, how you like it. Well, you build up a pile of those next to, but the bummer is the thing next to the pile of all my paste ups are all my favorite comics. Now, I have a rotation of about 10 or 15 comics that I look at all the time. You know, there's a lot of Toth in there. There's Walt Simonson in there. I got some Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. All that stuff, you look at for different things to kind of give you ideas, or if you're stuck, like, how do I work this out? Or like, oh man, who does hands good? That kind of stuff. And so that's good that you have those things really accessible and just something to fill up your tank and keep, fill up the well. The not so great thing about that is sometimes you set this down and it ends up being on top of your favorite comic. And then when you pick this up, the double-sided tape rips your favorite comic. Now you look at that and say that's a dog's breakfast. But there is a glass half full way of looking at this. Now, when I finish the page this goes on and lay the panel down and all that, as upset as I am about gacking up my cover here, I look at this panel and I look at the page and I look at the story and I think, hey, that favorite comic, that favorite writer, artist is going to be part of my comic forever. And so that kind of tickles me, where a little piece of my favorites is going to be in my work. So yeah, that's the way you could take just this anything awful, any little stub of the toe, and let it ruin everything. Or you could find the good in even something as silly as a comic book being banged up a little bit. Now, I'm not a comics grading guy. I want to enjoy the thing instead of locking it away in an airtight case where you never flip through it again. But I do like to take care of my stuff. But it makes it a little easier to eat knowing that part of this guy's work is going to be part of my work forever. And so really that's the outlook, that's a philosophy, that's a mindset. If you have a good mindset like that, when bad things happen, when rough things go, you could either grit and make it through, make it your finest hour, or you can take the smallest thing and let it ruin your world. So, a little bit more of a philosophical kind of deal today, but yeah, there's always a glass half full way of looking at things. Until next time, boop.